Hello, everybody. Today I would like to talk about language learning. This is something I feel very passionate about, and I like to share my tips and I like to meet other people who learn languages. And I really feel that the schooling system is not designed to teach language as well. It's not designed to teach language in such a way that you can actually use it and make it part of your life. So today I would like to share my 5 tips for learning languages and not to keep you in suspense, the 5 topics that I will talk about are: pick the language you want to learn, second, speak right away, then consistency, then make that language part of your life, and finally, not to be afraid of mistakes. And I will describe in a little bit more detail each of these five points. So, number one, pick the language you really want to study. Don't pick languages based on the number of speakers in the world. I pick languages that somehow awake something in me and that I really want to study. That's it. And I really feel that it does not matter if the language is popular, if just half of the world speaks it. But if you're not interested in that language, if you are not excited to learn it, then it's not going to be the language you will want to use. And language learning does take time, does take effort, and it's not always easy. So you have to pick the language you really want to learn. So my second point is start speaking right away. So much of the language learning is focused on learning grammar, doing grammar drills from the beginning. And look, I'm a nerd. I love doing grammar drills and I love learning all these intricate rules of conjugations, etc. But at the beginning, if you want to learn the language for using it in daily life, for communicating, you have to communicate. And sometimes people say to me, well, yes, I'm going to start speaking this language once I get better at it. They never do, because the only way to get better at speaking is to speak. Yes, it's sometimes very intimidating to make sentence in another language when you're not sure about your pronunciation, about your correct use of the sentence structures, etc. But you have to do it. You just have to plunge into it from the beginning. You have to find a speaking partner. These days, finding a speaking partner online is so easy, and I'll leave a couple of links for the sites that I've used myself. So you just start speaking right away. For your first lesson, I even recommend you look up on YouTube or online to find the basic phrases, learn those phrases so you can start your first lesson with a conversation, at least like 1 or 2 sentence conversation. So, and the more you repeat these phrases, these basic phrases, the more they will become natural. And in my other videos, I will talk about exactly like my first steps. For instance, if I want to start learning a language, what exactly do I do? Because I realize I do have a strategy, and since I've tried teaching other people how to use it, and I've seen that it works, so I'm very happy to share it. Finally, number 3, consistency. It's of course, it's always better. The more time you spend, the better you'll get at pretty much anything. And language learning is no exception. But I would say then don't make your language learning kind of the feast of famine approach. It's better to spend just at least 15 minutes a day, every day, doing something in the language you're learning than to spend 2 hours a week in a classroom setting when you do lots of exercises and then the rest of the week you use nothing. That's not going to be useful. So, and time management is an issue for all of us. But if we go back to point number 1, you pick the language you wanted to learn in the first place, you are excited about it, and you will want to make time for it. That's as simple as that. And when you find yourself improving, when you find yourself making progress, and especially when you make time at least once a week to speak to a native speaker, and you'll see that you're making progress, you're learning something new, it just really gives you such a boost. So, 4, making that language a natural part of your life. Again, we have to think about language learning as really part of our general lifestyle. And so if you want to learn Italian or French, then find activities that you would do ordinarily, but do them in that language. For instance, just to give you an example, I really enjoy cooking, and so when these days I'm learning Turkish, so I watch many Turkish cooking videos or cooking shows, and there are lots online. And then I write down recipes, and sometimes I cook them, or I often cook them at home. And it's such a fun activity. I'm learning something new, and of course I'm getting a way to exercise my Turkish or to use it. So listening or watching is a passive learning. It does not replace a session with a native speaker, but still it's better than nothing. And or for instance, you could if you're interested in art, you can look up documentaries about art in the language you're learning. If you like to read, try to read on that topic in the language you're learning, etc. But it will differ person to person, but generally, the more ways you'll find to use the language to make it kind of an organic part of your life, the more progress you will make. And 5, not to be afraid of making mistakes. When you learn a new language, making a mistake, making stupid mistakes, making you fool of yourself even, is kind of natural. It's normal, and you shouldn't be afraid of it. You shouldn't be afraid of the moments when you say something and the person looks back at you in confusion. Repeat what you've said. Then if they still don't understand, then get home, figure out what mistake you've made, get over it. If someone replies to you in English, do not take it personally. Continue speaking that language. In other words, learning a new language is teaching you humility, and that's always something positive, in my opinion. And but I really can't describe how exciting, how thrilling it is to learn something new. Learning a new language is really a way to soar kind of above our boundaries. It's a way to learn another culture. And even in this world where English is the lingua franca, and you can survive with just English and not learn any other language, still, learning another language is a key to a whole another world. And another concept to keep in mind as you're learning, as you're struggling, is that with languages, something is true. Knowing a little is better than knowing nothing at all. So, good luck, persevere, and please share with me what languages you're learning or you would have liked to learn.